Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews again. I'm Michelle. Today is Friday. So guess what? We're getting back to hashtag Friday Sews. If that sounds interesting to you, then please stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag. I love this hashtag. I am so far behind on YouTube videos. I can't wait to spend the weekend getting caught up. But it's such a great hashtag. If you're not already following it, then go to the YouTube search bar, put in hashtag Friday Sews, and you're gonna meet all kinds of amazing makers. All right, so basically the format for Friday Sews, if you're not already aware, is that we share things that we've been working on, things that we have planned coming up, and a little bit about life. So I'm just gonna jump into it. What have I been making? Well, I don't know if you've been following along, but I made an awful lot in the month of September. I'm not gonna do a recap here. I don't know if I'll do a recap on that or not. It's a lot. But if you're interested and you hadn't followed along, I'll insert the playlist for the Sew Purple to End ALZ 22 challenge up here. And I basically made something almost every day for the month of September, and I posted a video about it, and I had a collaborator every one of those videos. So it's twice the fun. I'm gonna skip over what's next because part of life kind of leads into what's next. So I'm gonna just jump into life. All right, so clearly September was a little cray-cray. I had the Sew Purple challenge, which was crazy enough on its own. And then the last week of September, I live in Fort Myers, Florida, so I had a little visit from a hurricane called Ian. I am really lucky. I live just enough inland where I didn't see the devastation that they saw on the coastal properties. It is so heart-wrenching to see just houses just look like they were just pancaked. I mean, they're just demolished. Like I said, I'm far enough inland. I lost power about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was flickering off and on all morning. Then about 1 o'clock, it just went. And when I lost power, I also mostly lost Wi-Fi. It was kind of hovering in and out. I could get some text messages in and out, and a lot of times they weren't going through. So Hercules was a little scared in the morning, which I thought was interesting because there was, not the morning, early afternoon when it really started to beef up. I thought that was interesting because we have lots of thunderstorms in Florida, and he's never even batted an eye at really loud thunder. But this wind, it's almost like he could tell something was coming because he started getting antsy even before the weather got bad. So he was a little bit afraid in the early stages of the hurricane, but then he kind of got used to it. And he was just running around like normal. So I had to pick him up physically when it got really scary and walk him into the bathroom, and we hung out. I had the bathroom prepared, had supplies, had pillows, had a blanket. We were ready to spend a few hours in the bathroom, which is what we did. The wind got super scary, and I think after it was over the next day, I took Hercules for a walk around our apartment complex. And then we took a little drive around the area, and I realized I probably should have been even more scared than I was. When I went outside, our apartments there was no significant major damage. There was minor damage. When I walked outside, my car was surrounded by shingles from the roof, almost like a body at a murder scene, how they do the chalk outline. That's what my car looked like. Not a dent on it. So grateful for that. We walked around the complex. There were a lot of trees down. There were a lot of bushes just pulled out of the ground. There were fences, metal fences were just bent down to the ground. There, in one area of the parking lot, the drive area of the parking lot, there was a fish that was mangled. I don't know if it was mangled from an animal, from a car, or if the winds of the hurricane did that, but it was mangled. So a lot of like, it was clear that the wind damage was pretty destructive. So because I've heard horror stories about how long it takes for the water and the power and everything to come back on Thursday, which is just the day after the storm, I decided that I was going to come up to Philly. I realized that there was no reason for me to stay in Fort Myers, even if the power were to come on that day. Seeing how devastated the whole area was and how slow things were coming back online in terms of gas, like the lines at the gas pumps were hours and hours and hours long. Grocery stores weren't opening, convenience stores weren't opening, restaurants weren't opening. And I knew it was going to take a long time, even after the power got back up and running, for things to really get put back together. And I needed to get back to work, and I work remotely, so I can work from anywhere. So my husband and I talked Thursday night, and I said, I'm coming up to Philly. And the airport was closed. I'm not sure how Hercules would travel in an airplane or an airport anyway. So I was like, let me just drive up there. So that's what I did. I took 3 days and I drove from Fort Myers to Philly. Michael, my husband, flew from Philly to Savannah. So I drove not quite halfway. And then he met us in Savannah and he drove us the rest of the way, which I'm grateful because the last 6 hours of the drive were the tail end of Ian. So it was very rainy and I wouldn't have enjoyed driving in that. So here I am, I'm in Philly. I'm staying in the hotel with my husband while he finishes out his assignment. I found out on Monday that the power and water are back on in my apartment, but the Wi-Fi is still not up. As of today, we got a notice today. The Wi-Fi is still not up and it's been, a week and a half now. So it's a good thing that I came up here because I wouldn't have been able to work for the last week without Wi-Fi. I can't log on to our network. So it was a good thing. I'm happy I'm up here, get to spend more time with my husband, and I have a ton of friends up here that I'm gonna be able to spend some time with without rushing through those visits. So it'll be good. It took me like 6 or 7 walks up and down 4 flights of stairs to get all of the essential stuff that I needed to bring with me into the car. By the time I was done with that, my knees were shot and I was like, you know what? I've sewn every day for a month. I can take a break. I don't need to bring my sewing machine with me. So I didn't bring, because it wasn't just the sewing machine. I would have needed to pack up supplies and sewing projects and patterns and all that stuff. And I just didn't have it in me. So I justified it by saying I just spent a whole month sewing almost every day. I can use a break. Well, I get here and a few days in, I'm like, you know what? I promised V from 85th and Wade that I would partner with her on her jumpsuit challenge, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And I kind of feel like sewing every day for the last month kind of really got my Sojo juices going. I was like, I really want to sew. And all the talk about like making adjustments for my sloping narrow shoulders made me really want to take my time on one project and get the fit perfect from top to bottom. So I am going to have one slow sewing project for the month. And because I wanted to do that, I needed to buy a sewing machine. So I went to Joann, decided I was gonna get just an inexpensive one because I don't really need a second sewing machine. And when I'm ready to upgrade, I need to do a lot more research. So I went to Joann, I found a machine that was regular, like $209. It was on sale for $159. And I feel like it's a good machine. I think it'll be a good machine, we'll see. I bought some basic supplies and tools. I didn't go overboard, got some basics. And then I bought a pattern. And some fabric so that I can participate in let me get this right. So I can participate in V's Sew, Romp, Jump, Play 22 challenge. So I think October 26th is officially jumpsuit day or overalls day or something like that. So V is doing this challenge from September 26th to October 26th, where you can make either overalls or romper or jumpsuit or play suit, and post it on Instagram on the 26th, and you'll be entered into her challenge. So I found a jumpsuit, or yeah, it's a jumpsuit. I found a jumpsuit that I had been wanting to make. I had bought it a long time ago. I ended up getting rid of it because I didn't think it was gonna fit me. After making the 8640 and seeing how much ease there is in the big 4 patterns, I decided to go ahead and give this one a try because I'm right on the verge. And I figured I could at least, if nothing else, I could make the seam allowances a little smaller than are called for, so we'll see. But I'm gonna put the picture up here. It is McCall's 7909. It's such a beautiful jumpsuit. I think I'm really drawn to it because the fabric that they use in the cover shot is just beautiful. Mine doesn't look anything like that, but it inspired me. I am not comfortable with that really deep V, so I'm gonna have to think about how to make an adjustment for that. But other than that, I'm definitely gonna make the one with sleeves. I'm not gonna do the ruffles, and I think it's gonna be cute. I can't wait to see how it comes out. And I got fabric for it, so this is the fabric that I'm gonna use. I bought this at Joann, and it was on sale, and I just love the colors in it. I have had this fabric before, and I used it for sleeves on a shirt that I made when I first started sewing again, and it was just terrible, so I've gotten rid of it. But I got 3 yards of this, and I just love the colors in it. Isn't that beautiful? And I think it'll make a beautiful jumpsuit. So I'm excited about that, and that's basically gonna be my project for the month of October. I'm gonna take my time. I'm probably gonna go back to Joann's today and get some cheap fabric that I don't care about, so that I can do fit muslin on at least the bodice. I'm not as concerned about the pants as I am the bodice. So, and maybe I'll just do a fit muslin of the whole thing and just do it as shorts because the length of the legs doesn't matter. So that's gonna be my project for the month, and I'll take you along with me. So that's my Friday sews, my first one in over a month. And I'm gonna do, I've got a list of videos that I'm gonna do this month. Since I won't be sewing a lot of different things all month, I've got some ideas for different videos that I think might keep you interested. In fact, my first one, it will be the October challenge roundup because I'm a little bit late on that. So I'll do that one sometime this weekend. So wherever you are, I hope the weather's amazing. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.